Hello, this video is going to cover what, in my opinion, is the very best tool in your Google Drive toolbox, and that is Google Forms. Google Forms can be easily created to make like entry forms or registration forms for an event. They can be used to create surveys. They make great, really fast little bell ringers as well, if you're a person who does bell ringers. So there's all sorts of things you can do with this. I'm really excited to show you this tool. So let's get started. To create a new Google form, you're going to go into your red New button and go down until you find the option for Google Forms. Once you're in a Google form, it's going to come up looking like this. Now, if you're a person who's familiar with Google Forms in the past and you haven't been in a while, and you are taking a look at this thinking, what the heck, this is not what it used to look like. There was a little change in the way that it looks. Functionality is pretty much still the same. It just looks a little bit different. So this tutorial may help you as well, give you a new little tour of the new forms. So as with any other tool in our Google Toolbox, the first thing I would suggest you do is title it. I'm going to do a little basketball theme here. And that same title will go up here for you. You can add a description. Notice all my savings happening automatically here. And then you can just start building questions. Now you have options for questions. It's defaulted to multiple choice, but you have all of these different options for questions as well. So let's just get started. I have a couple questions here I'd like to make. Just type your questions in. And here I could list every single team here and do multiple choice, but for efficiency purposes, I'm just going to select short answer, and folks can type in their response there. Notice down here, I have the option to move the slider and make this a required question, which is something that's I like to do because if I'm creating a survey, I want as much feedback as I can. I don't want folks to have the option to skip my questions. So this is a short answer question, easily made, and we're going to move on. To add another question, I'm going to click this plus button. It's going to give me a question here. Again, defaulting to multiple choice, but I can change it if I want. Let's get a couple choices in here. And I'm going to make that one required as well. Now, I wanted to show you can change the order of your questions by just sliding them. If you would rather have this question first, you can move those all around. That's simple to do. I'm going to add another question here. Get a little true false question. Again, I'm going to require my answer. Now, what's awesome in Google Forms, just like in Google Slides, you can insert media. So you can add an image or a video. I'm going to add a video here. So you can get feedback on a particular video. You can do videos, any video that's on YouTube you can add in there. You can put the URL in. I'm going to add the video you watched at the beginning of this module. Search for it here. Looks just like it did in Slides, and what's awesome is you can just select it and it'll go right in. When it's in, you can select how you want it to display, justification. You can label it. You put that in context there. And then you can add a question to go with that video. Okay, and because I'm going to require a bit longer of an answer on this one, folks need to explain themselves. I'm going to make this a paragraph selection. So that's how you create questions in Google Forms. It's really that simple. So there's my short little Google form there, all done. Now I'm going to show you some things about appearance. It defaulted to this purple background, which is fine. You have the option to change the color palette here to whatever you would like. But this is really cool. You have the options to theme your surveys as well. So there's all kinds of different themes here that you can do, and I will tell you, if you're creating for an invitation for something, a registration for something, there's pretty much everything in here. There's holiday themes, there's party themes, there's lunch themes, there's themes for everything in here. Since I'm doing sports, I'm going to choose that option, and I'm just going to select this one. And you'll see it's going to totally change the look of my survey, make it look much more professional in there. Okay, so you can always preview your survey as to what it's going to look like by clicking here. There's some settings that I want to show you as well. In your settings, this is how it's going to work for people. So there's some things you can pick, like a progress bar, so it can kind of show people how much they're getting through the survey. There's you can add a confirmation page that basically says your response has been recorded, thank you, or you can even customize that here. You can require that folks can only submit one response and they can't submit anymore. So if you don't want someone submitting multiple answers to skew your data, you can do that as well. So this is where you'll find that is in settings, and then you can save it. There was also an option to shuffle questions. I have never used that. I guess you could. I'm going to stop now and say that this is really not designed for your purposes to create quizzes. We have Canvas for that. You'll notice when I was creating like multiple choice questions, there was no place to put in a correct answer. That can be done in Forms, but it requires some other add-ons and things. And for our purposes, it's just not necessary. We want actually graded things to go through Canvas, our learning management system. This is just great for registrations, surveys, and those kinds of things. So just another tool for you that certainly shouldn't take the place of a tool that we're already using and that we require that you use. So, okay, now we want to send our survey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Send. Now, this is the point where you can email your survey to people. You can send it out through social media. Here is also where you will add collaborators. You can build Google Forms collaboratively. And that is something where you want to add them through their email so that this will go into their Google Drive as well, because it's going to be an ongoing thing where you're going to be ongoing collecting data, and so you'll want them to have full access all the time and to be able to build with you there. So that's how you would add that. You can also just get a link, a shareable link, and this gives you the option to shorten that URL, which is really nice. You just copy that and you can send it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it in a different browser so you can see what it looks like. And there is our form. So I'm going to go ahead and complete it here. Which team do you like best? I always pick Kansas at my house. I'm going to save that. Basketball's on at my house often. No, I don't think basketball's the best sport to watch. I would watch my video and respond. Hopefully my folks will respond more than me. I'm going to click Submit here, and then there is the response that my survey has been recorded. Now, if I go back here, if I refresh this page here, and I go in, I can view responses. You'll see that one is showing, and this is the one response that we got here. So you can show a summary of responses. You can do individual responses, so it'll show exactly what I typed in here. You can also create a spreadsheet for responses. And you're going to say create. That spreadsheet is in Google Sheets, and it's in your Drive too. I'll do another video later on Google Sheets so you can see the information in a spreadsheet form. So there's all kinds of different things. This is the basics of Google Forms here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, oh, let me show you that real fast. So if I look in my Google Drive for NCAA basketball, so I'm going back to my Drive, and remember everything's been saved here. Here's my basketball survey that I created. And here is my spreadsheet of responses. Look at the two different icons. There's the form, there's the sheet. So it's in there. I can go back to it at any time. I am going to actually stop this video now, and because this is the basics. This is the basics of making a Google form. I'm going to then go back, in the next video, I'm going to go back into this and show you a more advanced feature of branching surveys, so that basically what that means is you can create surveys within surveys to get more detailed information. This is the basics. If you're happy stopping with the basics, then stop here and work on using Google Forms at this level. But if you want to learn something a little bit harder, then you'll want to watch the next video as well.